If you are looking for an NVIDIA RTX 4070 and you have a budget of around $1,000 to spend on a gaming PC, this video is going to be for you. My name is Valentino and today I will show you a gaming PC build that will give you amazing performance at 1080p, 1440p and even 4K. I will also show you the level of performance that you will get at each resolution and the potential upgrades that you can make down the line. All the links to these PC components will be down below in the video description. With that being said, let's start. First, we are going to start talking about the PC specifications, and don't worry if you are a beginner, I will try to make this as simple as possible, and on top of that, as I said before, I will show you the gaming performance for you to understand. For the CPU, we have the AMD Ryzen 5 5600. This is a great 6-core 12-thread processor, really good for a mid-range CPU at this price point and will give you very good performance while gaming. For the motherboard, we have an MSI B550 Gen 3. This is a budget motherboard that's only $100 and has plenty of features for gaming. Honestly, you do not need anything more than this, especially when you have a mid-range CPU like the Ryzen 5 5600 inside of your system, which by the way already comes with a CPU cooler included, so you do not need to spend money on an aftermarket CPU cooler. Then for the memory kit, we have 32 gigs of RAM, which is going to be ideal not only for gaming but also for other tasks such as content creation and streaming. So yes, you will be able to do gaming at a very high level, but you will also be able to stream at a very high quality. Then for the storage, we have a 1TB Gen 4 SSD, which is going to be perfect and you can always upgrade down the line. So if you need more storage, you can either buy more now or add more storage later down the line. Then for the graphics card and the most important component when it comes to gaming, of course, we have the RTX 4070. This is an amazing GPU for 1440p resolution that will allow you to play at 1440p 240 plus FPS on average in esports titles such as Fortnite, Valorant, CS2 and this type of shooters. And if we are talking about high demanding AAA titles on high to ultra settings, you can expect around 90 plus FPS on average, and I'm talking about 1440p resolution. If you want to play at 1080p, then you can expect around 120 plus FPS on average in AAA high demanding titles on high to ultra settings, and then at 4K you can expect 50 plus FPS on average, which can be over 60 plus FPS if you turn on the DLSS, which is the upscaler from NVIDIA, and will give you a boost when it comes to gaming performance. If you turn on the DLSS, you can expect around 60 to 80 plus FPS on average on AAA titles, high to ultra settings, depending on the game. Now, if you want to play high CPU demanding titles, for example, your favorite games are the Spider-Man games, then I do recommend you upgrading the CPU from a Ryzen 5 5600 to something more powerful, and in that case you will be spending more money. However, this PC, even in high CPU demanding games, is going to give you an amazing performance, but of course if you want even more performance, then upgrading the CPU is going to be ideal. But I will talk about the perfect CPU upgrade that you can make for not that much more money in a second, but before doing that I want to show you the rest of the components and tell you that if you are enjoying the video so far, click the subscribe button. Trust me, it goes a long way. So if you do that, thank you so much. Then for the case, we have the Fantex XT Pro. This one is an amazing case with really good airflow for the price, only $50. It comes with one pre-installed fan in the back, and that's why I also added 3 extra fans from Thermalright for just $13. So you end up having 4 fans, a front mesh panel, great airflow, and also this PC is very power efficient, and for that reason I only needed a 650 watt power supply from MSI, and I'm talking about the MSI Mag A650BN, which is a really good unit for the price. The total price for this system when I'm recording this video is $1,028, and if you want to get this exact same level of performance for a cheaper price, then I do recommend you downgrading the RAM to 16 gigs of RAM, and that's going to be enough for gaming. However, I do recommend you sticking to 32 gigs of RAM for a better performance overall. And I also recommend you considering the RX 7800 XT from AMD for the GPU, which of course if you want an NVIDIA RTX 4070, that's totally fine, but if you want a system that's under $1,000, if you get the 7800 XT, the total price will be around $990 by the time that I'm recording this video, and you will be getting a slightly faster gaming rasterized performance. So this graphics card is nice to consider. Now, it's not for everyone. Some people do want NVIDIA, so if that's you, then stick to the 4070 and spend the extra. But if you're willing to go AMD, you are going to be getting really good performance for a cheaper price here. And then I have 2 potential upgrades for you if you have more money to spend, especially if you play high CPU demanding titles. The first upgrade is upgrading the CPU to a Ryzen 5 7600. This is a much faster CPU, and this system will be more balanced if you have the Ryzen 5 7600, especially as I said before in high CPU demanding titles, for example Fortnite low settings, Spider-Man games, high-end simulators, for example Flight Simulator, or if you want to play other simulators like Cities Skylines, then this CPU is going to be ideal, and you get a more upgradable system over time because you are on the AM5 platform. This means that if down the line you want to upgrade to the fastest CPU in the entire market right now, which is the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, you can do it without having to upgrade the motherboard, where if you go with the 5600 and you want to upgrade to a 7800X3D, then you will need to upgrade not only the CPU but also the motherboard and the memory kit, because the new AM5 platform is only compatible with DDR5 motherboard, and that's why I also went with 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, which is really fast and it's going to be helpful especially in games like Fortnite. If you make this upgrade, you are going to be spending around $100 to $120 extra, and when I'm recording this video, the price is going to be $1,135 with this upgrade. And if you have even more money to spend, then I recommend you keeping this exact same CPU but going with the RTX 4070 Super instead of the non-super, which is going to give you a faster gaming performance. So you can expect higher FPS not only in high CPU demanding situations but also in high GPU demanding titles, for example Alan Wake 2, Cyberpunk 2077 and games of that nature. On top of that, I also upgraded the power supply to an 850 watt 80 plus volt power supply, which is an overkill right now, but it's going to be amazing if down the line you want a high-end GPU, because 850 watts is enough for most graphics cards in the market, even high-end graphics cards like the RTX 4080 Super. The total price if you make this upgrade is going to be $1,200, so almost $200 more expensive than the first system. And if you don't have that much more money to spend, then stick to the first PC with the 4070 and the Ryzen 5 5600. You are going to be achieving very high FPS at 1440p resolution and 1080p, and you can even play, as I said before, at 4K, especially if you turn on the DLSS in high demanding titles. And if you want personal PC help, in the top link in the description you will be able to ask me any question about computers and I will reply to you, especially if you're looking for a new PC build or pre-built PC if you don't want to build it yourself. And in that case you will also have my video on the best pre-built PCs of the month. You will have that one in the top right of the screen where I go over the best PCs for every budget and every resolution, 1080p, 1440p and 4K. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.